Welcome to the Purpose Driven Mom Show, episode 393. Today, I'm going to talk to you about the 4 stages you need if you're thinking of starting a business. I have a lot of moms who come to me and they're just trying to get through the day to day, right? And then a lot of times what happens is they'll work with me, they'll work through my methods, and all of a sudden they're like, wait a minute, I think I'm ready. I know how to handle my time. I know how to handle my goals. But now what I really want to do is something for me. I want to find purpose. I want to make money for my family. I want to be intentional. And they come to me because they want to learn these things. And I have created a brand new program called the Mompreneur Roadmap that is open now for a limited time with a really cool bonus where you can get my dream learn plan do framework specifically for your business. And I'm going to talk you through what's in it today. And I'm going to share with you a little bit about how you can really take this and start your business. This is perfect for people who are thinking of starting a business. You either don't know your idea yet, or you have your idea, or you're in like that less than first year where you just aren't sure where to go. Like you just don't know what to do. You're like, I have to work. I want to do this business, but like, where do I go from here? Okay. So you can go to apurposedrivenmom.com/mompreneur roadmap to learn about that. But let's talk through the 4 stages and what these look like and how I teach them in the course. So I want you to think through the lens of, I'm thinking of starting a business. Maybe I have an idea. We're going to start with dream, right? The whole framework, dream, learn, plan, do. The goal of having these stages in planning your business is not to jump in. This is the biggest mistake I notice when I'm working with my moms. I want to start working on a podcast. I'm just going to start doing this. And then I get overwhelmed because I don't know how to start a podcast. So then I quit. The systems that I teach do require planning. They do require you to take a couple steps back. But if you plan appropriately in 15-minute chunks, like I teach in the program, what's going to happen is when it's time to sit down and work, you're going to work. You're not going to be thinking about what to do. So what do you do in the dream phase? Dream is really, really fun. This is my favorite. I do this for every new project. I do this every time I'm really just trying to like get something off the ground. I love to sit and dream. And in my dream phase, what I actually am doing is brainstorming and market research. So let's talk about brainstorming first. In the dream phase, if you're thinking of starting your business, or again, you're trying to get this a business off the ground, you're going to think, who do I want to work with? And inside this, you're going to do some online and talking to actual people market research. So I recommend you do things like going to Google, websites like Uber Suggest, so you can do keyword research, Pinterest. I teach these things in the program as well, right? But I also want you to talk to people. So one of the things you're going to do in the dream phase is you're going to talk to real people who are your ideal audience. And I kind of teach you how to do that in the program. And what you're going to do is ask them, give me your words. Like, what are you struggling with? What would help you? So that you know how to actually speak their language. Because if you're speaking their language, they're going to find you easier, you're going to sell easier, and you're going to be able to monetize. Because the goal is you want to start an actual business that makes money. But if you're trying to sell something that they don't actually want, well, that's a waste of your time and theirs. So in the dream phase, you're doing market research, you're talking to people, you're trying to figure out what you want to do, and you're also creating a vision for yourself. This is where you're writing down, what does this look like in my real life? Like, what does success feel like? What do I want my business to be? Do I want to be working early in the morning or not? Do I want to be working during nap time or not? I also encourage you to do what I like to call dream walks, where you literally go for a walk and ask yourself questions about your business, about what you want it to feel like. You allow yourself space to just say, hey, this is my dream. This is where I want to go. Now, this method you could use at the beginning of every time you do a project. It doesn't even have to be, I'm starting my business. So I use Dream, for example, with our summit. Our summit's coming up in April. I'll go on dream walks. I'll do market research. I'll check in Facebook groups. I'll make a content plan. This is a big part of Dream, is I'm going to make a content plan to figure out, what do I want to talk about? If you're doing the pre-planning in the dream phase, you're going to set yourself up for learn, plan, and do, because what you're actually doing is taking a breath, and instead of trying to do everything, you're pausing and saying, what can I do now? And what do I want it to look like for me, which is key. Dream is all about setting the stage. In the dream phase, you're also going to give yourself some timelines before you move into the learn phase. Now, this is important because I think a lot of us get stuck in learning, right, will buy course after course after course and not know where to go from here. So what you do in the learn phase is you figure out what you don't know and you make an appropriate learning plan for that. So in the learn phase, I talk about cold market versus warm market learning. I talk about how do you figure out what lead generation you want to pick. I want to get new people, right? Should I pick Pinterest? Should I pick a blog? Should I pick a podcast? I teach you all these things. I talk all about them. This is also where you make your goals. In the learn phase is where you decide, I've dreamed about this. I thought about what I wanted to do. Now I'm in the learn phase of my business or my business project. I really want to know, what do I not know? How many times have you gotten started on something? I remember when I first started my blog, I would get started on it. And then I got into a post and they started to talk about like alt text or SEO, and it all went over my head and I would get derailed. In the learn phase, you're actually going to ask yourself that question. What do I not know? And you're going to give yourself space to figure out what you don't actually know. And there's really great tools that we teach in the program that allow you to say, how do I break my learning down so I don't get stuck? Hand up if you do that, right? I don't get stuck in learning, but instead I move forward with my learning. Learning is also where we're going to talk about how affiliate marketing can help your business in the beginning. I wish I had done this better my first 2 years of business. I didn't really get into affiliate marketing, which is like where you refer someone else's thing and you get paid for it. I didn't get into that until about year 3. And now it's my second biggest stream of income after my own products. I think in the beginning, when you're getting your business started, using affiliate marketing is a great way to get your income while you grow what your own audience and what you want to do. And we have a bonus video on that. Now, after that, we move into the plan phase, which is obviously my favorite. Plan is all about deciding how you're going to work. Do is about actually doing it. Plan is the backwards plan. So when you're in the plan phase of business, this is when you're talking about data. What data do you want to track? There's so many things you can track. And I like to show you like what specifically can you track? What does it look like? This is also where you talk about the batches of work. And this is my secret sauce. This is my jam. This is whatever you want to call it. Like, this is where I thrive in teaching is let's talk about batches. Let's talk about standard operating procedures. Let's talk about workflows. And I'm going to teach you how to do that. Use AI to make it work smarter, not harder. Because in the beginning, back to that, you don't know what you don't know until you get there, right? You can't make as if workflow if you've never done something. So I'm actually going to teach you how to make what I like to call systems from the start. How do you create systems from the very beginning of your business so that when you're 5 years down the line, you're not even thinking? I'm going to give you a great example. Today, for example, I'm preparing my SOP, my standard operating procedure for our summit. It's the checklist of all the tasks that we have to get done. Now, there are about 350 micro tasks. I break everything into 15-minute chunks that we do in preparation for the summit as a team, right? We start about 5 months in advance. It's a big project for us. Instead of retyping all of those, I was able to copy the SOP from last time that we edit each time we do it, change up the dates, backwards plan now, and it was done. It took me about an hour. I don't have to think from the beginning. I don't have to say, what am I teaching? I'm sorry, what am I teaching? What am I doing? What is the task? Who's doing what? Where's the gaps? It's done. I'm going to teach you how I make these SOPs from the start. I'm actually doing this right now for my new printables business. I'm doing one printable a month. If you've heard me talk about it, if not, go to purposedrivenmom.com/store, check out the printables. I'm making a SOP. And here's a tip. The first time I do something, I don't detail it out. I write it out like an outline, right? And I go through and I say, hey, this is my outline. This is what it looks like, start to finish. The second time I go through, I'm going to record myself doing it. So I'm going to go through and say, here is like a Loom, LOOM.com. It's free. I'll record a couple minutes of me doing the task. And then I'm going to take that and put that inside the SOP. Now, Loom also has a feature for transcripts you can get, or you can go back and type out what you're doing. You can use AI for that, like put it in, get the transcript. And then the third time through, it's like we're writing it and we're doing it. So then by the second or the third time through something, I can hand it off to my team. My goal isn't that I'm doing every single step. My goal is that I can learn it, I can know it, I can record it and pass it on. Now you're like, I haven't even thought of a business idea. I don't want to hire. I agree. You don't need to right now. But if you do this for yourself, it's going to make everything easier. And I teach that in the plan phase. Now, the last phase, the do. So the do phase is about how you get things done. Okay. This is where we're talking about how do you make quarterly project breakdowns? I talked about that Summit SOP. It didn't start with let's just write everything down. I started breaking it down based on the tasks I knew I needed to get done. I teach all of that in this section. Also, the big one, how do I find time? I want to start a business. I'm a busy mom. What does that look like in the day-to-day? When you get to the do phase, that's what I'm going to show you how you schedule your time out, how you make time blocks so you can appropriately work, how you can break things down. How do you work around your kids? That's the big question, right? We can't start there. That's what everybody wants. Just tell me how to get it done with my kids. If you do the pre-planning that I teach in Dream, Learn, Plan, and Do, and again, all videos, 15 minutes or less, right? If you do that, when we get to do, it's easy to do. It's easy to get it started. And inside that section, I also am going to teach you how to troubleshoot when a kid is sick, right? Somebody's not taking their nap, things like that. Now, this new program, the Mompreneur Roadmap, it's open right now. We are going to have it open anytime. So if you're listening to this, you can go to apurposedrivenmom.com/mompreneur roadmap. If you join during the special enrollment period, which is February 8th through February 13th, which when this episode goes live, that's tomorrow, we're giving $100 off our very first launch of this. This is a self-paced course where once a month you get a bonus, which I'm offering for 2024, where you get office hour coaching with me. You can jump on Zoom, ask me any business questions. It is now the only place on the internet I do that. And get your business off the ground. Get started with something that you've been thinking about and dreaming about, and make that dream business an absolute reality. I'm going to show you in the Mompreneur Roadmap literally how to make this roadmap for your business, and how you can then rinse and repeat, how you can get your business started. We've had 2 cohorts test this live. And what we found was they would start with, I think I want to do this thing. And by the end of the time watching all the videos and putting it together, they had their idea, they knew who they were working on, and they were ready to get started on a project. Those people then went into cohort 2 with me with their idea. And by the end of that second cohort, launched a podcast, launched a blog, launched a YouTube channel, because they had done the work. That's what I want for you. If you go to apurposedrivenmom.com/mompreneur roadmap right now, or anytime you're listening, you can join. But if you join before the 13th of February, which is our special enrollment time, you are able to get $100 off this brand new course. If you have questions, please email help@caraharvey.com, DM me on Instagram @apurposedrivenmom. I know this is the time for you to take that business dream in 2024 and make it an absolute reality. And I want to help you get there, right? I want to help you get that dream launched and off the ground.